Ladies and gentlemen, professors, lecturers, gurus, namaste. I don't know the difference between a good lecture and a bad lecture, for I've never done that. I've just spoken to people, and all that I've learned has been extramural, outside the walls of the ones, like the ones I see here. So I've come here as I had gone to my 8th standard annual examination, unprepared. And that was the reason I was a high school dropout. But here I see no such peril. I presume you're all good hosts. So if I fail, you'll still be nice to me. Talking of my learning, it's all been rag-picking through the intellectual garbage that abounds in society. Not that I'm talking ill of my feeding ground, but there are many professor friends of mine who say similar things about university education. But then for me, from the other side, going back to the old adage, the grass is always greener on the septic tank. Okay. Now that I've said equally good words about you and me, I would have liked to be here, but I didn't qualify. I was a bit slow. What would take you about 4 or 5 years has taken me 25 years. That's what happens when you don't have an agenda, an academician looking down on your syllabus, looking at your syllabus. And probably looking down too. Some of my professor friends say they're very unhappy the way the country is being educated. It is definitely a change from the Mechello times where we were only creating clerks and babus for governmental use. We've come a long way from there. And if you're wondering why I've not hit the title I've been given, I told you I didn't come prepared. So I'm not going to use the cliche of hitting the title that's given to me. You ask me questions which is pertinent to what you think is the title, and we'll take it up from there, because that's how I learned, through questions.
Good evening, sir. I'm Gautam from first year, and I'm very thankful that I'm in the same stage where you are, at least in the same room.
So am I. Go ahead.
It's not.
I know. It is a management school, and I must talk to you about compromises and how to manage. You don't have to compromise. You still can make money. I'm a standing proof.
So you said you've learned by swimming in the chance of toughness and all. You've had very varied experiences. Could you share any one experience that is very close to your heart, which you've learned, like you had to be really stern on what you wanted, and how? What did you learn from it, and what took you ahead?
Okay, you paddle, keep your head out of water, but don't go with the flow, because you don't know if there is a falls at the end of this flow. So try to reach the bank, and choose your bank. It's difficult. Nothing is going to be easy. Eating and defecating is as difficult. Sorry, we're getting into the cesspool, so I'm getting into the mood and getting into the character. So what I'm trying to tell you is that what will happen? The worst is that you don't swim well, you'll drown, you die anyway. So give it that full throttle and reach out to your chosen bank. That's the kind of spirit you have to. Some of you must have read the last lecture. One need not be on the verge of death to get that spurt. On the verge of life can give you equal amount of spurt like that. In my business, yes, at 21 I thought of killing myself, because I thought I am a lonely genius in this world, bereft of it. Bereft of such commodity called genius. But then gravity is a good teacher. Sort of, however big your wings are, it makes you land at one time or other. So I landed fortunately at around 23, 24. And I found a big crowd of similar people wanting to slit their wings. And they didn't. They are my friends even today. Not all of them are in films. Some of them are teachers, some of them are poets. A few of them are in the forest. The police are looking for them. But they are idealists. They are what they thought they were. But they are not alone. That's what I realized, and that's the turn in my life. Thank you.
Today, if you see Indian films, many of them are made purely with a commercial purpose. You need to make masala movies with complete disregard for script or screenplay. People start making movies. What's your take on this? And do you think this is healthy for the Indian film industry?
Do you think just masala is good for health? It can't be. It's just a ingredient, an additional flavor to the food. How can you forget food and feed the customer only with masala? And people will throw up new ideas. I know. I'd like to keep this less nauseous than it's getting to be. So what I'm trying to tell you is that instead of shouting down at my peers or looking down on them, I tell you what ails them. This country, you said, is full of talents, but it's also full of followers. What we need are leaders. And what we need to understand is we are the lawmakers. We don't have to look up at the parliament or at Delhi to make our laws. Our voice will become law. It has. Why should you belittle yourself and look up at the dais? I like this arrangement of the dais. You're going to face the same thing. You're going to work for money and churn out masala. With total disregard to your civic duty, you will be manufacturing defective baby food and you'll be aware of it. There is a time and you'll know it. Prepare yourself. You want to sell out? You can. There are people to buy you out. But do you want to sell cheap? Or do you want to buy yourself a new conscience? Well, honesty is a luxury most can't afford. We still have to understand what tolerance is all about. We talk about it, but none of us are tolerant. So all these things, the society is the peer pressure. It's not your friend sitting beside you. The society in general, the older generation, younger, your son will become your peer and your pressure. And I have many such things in my films. Yes.
Good evening, sir.
Oh, I thought someone was dubbing for you. Yes.
Sorry about that.
Because you've got too much testosterone to sound like that. Yes, lady.
I'm extremely glad to be seeing you here today.
Thank you, ma'am.
I have a couple of questions. Like, the first thing is, what is the one motivating factor that actually gets you going?
Oxygen?
It's a very challenging film industry, you know, like where you have so many hurdles and so many times where you feel like giving up, but then there should be some light that, you know, actually makes you go towards it. So what was it?
Light at the end of the tunnel, you mean?
Yeah, what was that?
I don't take tunnels. I'm claustrophobic. I climb over the mountain and land on the other side. It's tedious, mind you, ma'am. I don't take tunnels. I climb all the way, but you get a good view of what's around you.